Golf balls. Absolutely brilliant for playing golf with. But there is another use that you might want to consider when you're sitting at home not really doing a lot, because this could be the difference between you having a good round or a bad round. Want to see what I mean? Well, make sure you keep watching this video. We're going to get stuck in. This is Nick Does Golf. Hey golfers, and welcome back to another video here on my channel, Nick Does Golf. Great to have you here for this one. Today is all about what you can do with a golf ball whilst you're at home. Now you're probably thinking, well, yes Nick, I know that I can chip down the hallway, I can actually put in the living room, I can do all these things with this golf ball. No, I'm not actually thinking about what you can do with your golf clubs, anything to do with the practical side of playing. No, you're going to use this golf ball to help you massage yourself. Now, self-massage is a massively important thing for you. You need to make sure that your muscles are nice and loose, ready for you to go out and maybe play that round which you might have in an hour, 2 hours time, or you've got it the following day. This is really important because you need to make sure that your muscles are in the best condition possible so that you can avoid injury and increase your performance. Now, traditionally, I would use my foam roller. Really good for the large muscle groups, making sure that you iron out all the tension within those muscles, whether you've just worked them or you're getting ready to work them out on the golf course or in the gym, whichever it may be. But using that, you can't get to the gristly areas, the small muscle groups which are tucked away in certain areas. For example, like your back, you can't get into certain areas that you really want to, and you might be a little bit more tense. Well, you can probably use a spiky massage ball, or if you haven't got that, you can use the golf ball that you last used. A golf ball is as good as anything, because look at that. If I squeeze that, there's no giving it at all. Now that is going to provide a perfect resistance for you when you're pressing into some of the muscle groups that you need to actually try and iron out and release some tension. Self-massage is something that we need to do pretty much every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes, so that we don't get tight, we can avoid any sort of injuries, and we can perform to our best, really. You can do it whilst watching TV, playing games, or even just relaxing. Oh yeah, and before I forget, if you're new here, make sure that you hit the big red subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate the support as I get bigger and I'm growing, so I can deliver more free content out to you guys for free. So get to work. So there are loads of ways of actually self-massaging yourself. You can literally do it at the same time as one of your normal activities. That is the beauty of this, and why using a golf ball is so good. But how do you know which muscles to use? Well, there isn't really a definitive answer to that, because you need to listen to your own body and pretty much take into account which areas may need it more than others. Now, you might experience some tightness during your golf swing. You might experience some fatigue in your feet, so that needs to be massaged. There's loads of different areas which you can target and loosen up with this golf ball. So other than pressing the golf ball into the muscle that you're trying to actually massage, you might want to use another form of resistance. So I've got the wall and I've got the floor that I might want to use as well. But for this example, we're going to use the wall. So my scapula in my back on this left side tends to get a little bit tight, especially after playing a certain amount of holes, for example, or just repeating a swing. So we're going to use the golf ball and the wall here. I'm going to present it to the wall, try and get it in line with where the muscle is actually a little bit sore, a little bit tight, and then from there I'm going to push up against the golf ball and move it in certain directions. So that, at the moment, I'm applying a little bit of pressure, and I can really feel the muscle trying to loosen out from here. Now, if the muscle is really tight, you might feel a little bit of a click, you might feel a little bit of soreness, but that's okay. Make sure that you apply the amount of pressure that is bearable for you. Don't pressurize that muscle against the ball, because you're probably going to do more harm than good. So just keeping it moving, circular motions, side to side, up and down, just so it can loosen off. And then once you feel like you've done an adequate amount of time, you can move on to a different muscle. So you might want to do the opposite side of where you've just done. So I'll go from my left scapula to my right. Doing your feet is always a good one. You walk 4 miles around a golf course, so it's always important that you look after your feet and you really give them the TLC that they deserve. Don't forget, you've been hitting golf shots off these bad boys as well, so you really need to look after them. So just applying some pressure to that golf ball is going to really make sure the balls of your feet are loosening out The more tight that you get with these, the worse it's going to be for you. So you really need to make sure that these are nice and loose, ready for that next day's play, the next activity that you might be doing, you name it. This is really good for them. So the last example that I'm going to show you is massaging the forearm. These play an imperative role in the golf swing and they do often get overlooked. If you suffer from tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, this is a really good exercise to do. Just pressing the golf ball into those muscles around the forearm and leading into the elbow joint from here. You're going to loosen them off, ready for the next activity that you might be doing, the next game of golf that you might be playing. These play an important part in the golf swing. This is not an injury that you want to get, so making sure that you are nice and loose in this area is going to be pivotal for the longevity of you playing this great game. So there's just a few things that you might want to consider. Rehab, physio, massage, they're all important bolt-ons to sport and activities that we carry out on a daily basis. So if you're not in a position where you can actually fork out to pay for physios, experts like that are going to help you with your recovery, self-massage is just as good as anything. And if you don't have the equipment for it and you're a golfer, using a golf ball could be your new best friend. So I hope you found that content really insightful and helpful for you to help with the recovery of your muscles and to help you optimize your performance. If you have, hit the like button, ding, and leave a comment down below. Let me know, have you ever used a golf ball before for self-massage? I'd be really interested to know if you have. Leave a comment down below, I'd love to hear from you. Of course, hit the subscribe button for me. I'd really appreciate the support as I grow and go through this very, very exciting journey that I'm on in the YouTubing world. I've got my social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter and TikTok, so you can keep up to date with everything that I'm doing on a daily and a weekly basis. If you want to message me, just interact with me, or if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to contact me. I hope you enjoy that content. Get self-massaging. Thanks very much for watching and see you all on the next one.